What is going on, my reefing fam? March here, Fragbox TV. If you're new to the channel and you don't already know, we try to do a coral related video here every single day of the week. And today's video is all about LPS coral. What does that mean? LPS. So we usually classify corals into three types. The first one is a soft coral, like this over here. And I apologize in advance, I really just felt like using the macro lens today. So I think I'm going to use it for the entire video. These are called zoanthids. This is a soft coral, no skeleton, no nothing, just straight up softy, almost like mush. And then we have LPS, which is called large polyp stony. And then we have one other one. Let me show you what that is. Hard coral, SPS, hard coral, hard to keep. If you're new to reef keeping, watch this video. You know, if you have a tank and you don't want to learn about LPS corals, maybe you can skip this one and wait for tomorrow's video, because we try and do one of these every single day. Here's another example of some soft coral. These are some xenia, but they're lazy. They should be pulsing, but today they got drunk and they decided we ain't gonna pulse. So LPS corals, there are hundreds of them. If I was to go through the tanks and show you all the different LPS corals we have, this video would be a couple hours long. Here are a few other examples just to show you. This is some Favia, some other nice Favia, some acans. This is Acanastrea. Actually, they changed the name recently. These are some zoanthids, softies. The softies, easy to keep. Softies, mushroom, easy to keep. Hard coral, okay, I don't find them hard. I've also been doing this 15 years. They're a little bit more finicky. They are a little more sensitive. They are not as forgiving. So they really need the water parameters to be in line with natural seawater, and they don't tolerate movement. So changes, swings in alkalinity, calcium, salinity, temperature, pH, all these values that are important in keeping a saltwater aquarium. These guys like it to be super stable. When they go out of whack, when things change, that's when we have problems. That's when we start to, unfortunately, lose corals like this. LPS corals, so LPS large polyp stony, SPS small polyp stony. These are LPS, so this is a torch coral, and it's kind of a hybrid between a soft coral and a hard coral, because it has this hard skeleton structure, but then from that we get this beautiful tentacle, soft coral-like that extends from it. These are called torch corals, very popular. These are in the family of Euphyllia, that's the Latin name. And for torch, the Latin name is Euphyllia glabarensis. We also have hammer coral. These are quite popular in the hobby. And I would consider LPS, I would consider them easy. If you're just starting out, maybe start with a soft coral, because they're virtually unkillable, they're indestructible. This is a frog spawn here. These are all in the family of Euphyllia. Frog spawn, hammers, and torches. And I think they're some of the most popular LPS corals because they move. Right now I have the flow off in the tank, but they move and they sway in the current and they look very much alive. This is an example of a not happy hammer coral. Not good. LPS. So we can actually see the exposed skeleton structure. So we say large polyp stony because the polyps are quite large on them, and stony because they have that calcium underlying base. Never buy one that looks like this. This guy is suffering. Not a good sign. Not sure if it's going to survive. We'll see. This is a Scolimia from Australia. Really nice example. And this is what you want to see with LPS. I call it puffy or fat, where you just see the flesh completely envelops the coral. So what you can't see here underneath is the skeleton structure. He does have a base, and just for the purpose of the video, I'm going to upset him. I'm sorry, my little friend. That's my ugly hand. And we're going to flip him over. And as you can see there, this is actually the bottom side of it. This looks pretty healthy to me. As you can see, the tissue wraps all the way around. I don't see any nicks or cuts or abrasions in it. And this is a fairly happy LPS coral. Now when I flip him over, he's going to look less happy, and that's because when you touch them, they retract back into their skeleton base. So he's going to deflate, he's going to let go of some of that water, and he's going to look really unhappy and almost pissed off. Very, very normal. Especially when we ship corals, if you ever get them in the mail, they don't look terribly good, especially the LPS coral. This is a Cinerina, very similar to the last one I showed you, and again, puffy, puffy, puffy. These are easy corals to keep in my experience. Most LPS are lower light, lower to medium light, so we put them a little bit lower in the tank, lower to medium flow, and fairly forgiving. So not like SPS. If things go out of whack, if your values move, you don't have to worry as much. They're more tolerant to changes in your water conditions than some other corals. Not as easy as soft corals, which they don't care. That, you know, even if your water is dirty, they will thrive in less than ideal conditions. This is a Acanthophilia, very popular coral, and comes in a green variety. Comes in a lot of varieties. This one just happens to be green for whatever reason. If you want to know why it's green, you're going to have to ask Mother Nature, because she decided this color. Another Acanthophilia over here. Again, lower light corals, like most LPS, except for when you get into the Euphilia, I would say like torch, hammer, frog spawn, they want a little bit more flow. Maybe Duncan's pipe organ can handle some more flow. This is a very nice Acanthophilia. Actually, we're about to ship this one out. So if you don't know, we ship corals right across the country. Only here in Canada, sadly, we cannot ship across borders. This is a very special Acanthophilia, and right after I shoot this video, I'm going to do one about sending this out to one lucky customer who managed to snag it. This is flower pot. Could be Alveopora, Gonipora. I always get confused with the two. I wouldn't recommend this as your first LPS. So do a little bit more research on it. I will link in the description of this video how I keep these. The secret, the success to keeping this sort of coral. This is another variety here. But if you're just getting into the hobby, I would start with maybe a hammer, or look for a Duncan or an Acan. Acan is this one right here, Acanthostraya. I know the Latin name changed recently, now they're calling them Micromusa. I've been doing this too long, I'm sorry. I'm just going to stick to calling them Acan lords. It's not the right Latin name anymore, it's changed. This is a very easy, low light, forgiving, peaceful, no sting. So something I haven't mentioned yet with these corals, a lot of them have a sting. They're going to hurt each other if they touch. But Acan is the exception. It has no sting. You really have to watch out for the Euphilia. So the wavy ones, bubble corals, torches, elegances, frog spawns, hammers, Galaxia. Ooh, I should show you some Galaxia because that thing has one hell of a sting. And these are all solitary corals, primarily. Actually, the last few I showed you, like this one here, this is open brain. So I believe it's called a Trachyphilia Joffrey is the Latin name, and these just come in the craziest of crazy colors. I just happen to have this one here that has this sort of red and green variety. These ones grow, they just get bigger and bigger and bigger, like the Acantho over here, like this one I showed you, and like this one over here. They just continue to grow fatter, just larger in size. Unlike the frog spawn and the torches, these ones actually branch off, so they'll grow heads. This is one single head. Actually, it looks like about 1.5. This is a single one here. Where'd you go? And this one's going to split into 2. So if you're looking to try LPS corals, I would say, again, look for a Duncan or a Favia. Maybe I have a Favia here to show you. This is a cool example of Favia. And yeah, I would say Favia, Duncan, Acan, hammer. No specific order, whatever you can find. Start with those, go slow, and if you got any questions, you can always hit us up. Our email is fragboxcorals@gmail.com, or just follow the channel and come back tomorrow, because we do a video sort of like this every single day of the week. At least we try to. So if you enjoyed this one, give us a thumbs up, let us know in the comments below, and we'll see you back here tomorrow. Thanks for watching, guys, this episode of Fragbox TV.